Take two. Take two. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, motherfucking welcome to this fine Friday edition of BS with Hannas. Good morning, Hannas. That's me. It's my little talk show morning thing that I like to do. Welcome to the BS with Hannas YouTube channel. Good morning, Hannas. That's me, Nikki Hannas. You can find this on YouTube at BS with Hannas. Goes out to Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts, all that. You can find my music. You just heard a little bit. That was Crawling Out of Hell by Nikki Hannas. Let me check the audio real quick.
The hell?
Yeah, got it. Cool. Take two, right on. Yeah, that was some Nikki Hannas music, some heavy blues metal. You can find it at nikkibhannas.com, nikkibhannas.bandcamp.com, Nikki Hannas on all streaming services. The premise of this show is I like to wake up, I take a good walk, I walk and I ponder, I read some good stuff, listen to some good stuff, what have you. Come out here and talk to the people. And once I'm done this, I'm going to go lift some weights and then go to work. Good days, baby. Every time I do these, I like the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. I wrote my first post on Substack yesterday, having never used Substack extensively. I figure it'll be interesting. And I like to work with this channel. You know, I took a quick note from my show the other morning and then kind of just expounded on those ideas. One draft, you know. I don't want to think extensively about it. There's proper situations to write with a lot of preparation and planning and plotting in terms of experimenting and just pursuing a craft for the sake of its own pursuit. I'm just going to keep it alive, keep it riffing, keep it ripping. And the other day I was talking about how fucking angry, how just angry I've been. It has been a week of wrath for me as far as work goes, you know, which is interesting. I feel like I say that a lot. It's interesting. Oh, it's fascinating. Interesting. But like, I'm fascinated and interested and curious about all these things. I guess it's been a period of my life where I'm deliberately working pretty hard, I think, on the idea of self-awareness and just general awareness, and trying to use awareness as a general concept to bridge into the bigger concepts and find out how to live a little bit better than I've been living. And by and large, I am, for sure. You know, I'm fucking exercising all the time. My diet, I've been a fat boy recently. I've been eating like shit, but that's okay. I'm working on that. God damn it. I know I can dial it in when I have to. That's its own bridge. And, you know, things are weird. Appetite is a weird thing, just like anger is, just like lust is, just like sloth is, just like all these avarice, you know, the 7 deadly sins, as we like to call them. You know, they're built into us. And that's kind of what I was writing about. I don't know if it's substack.com/Nikki Hannas, but I'm sure you can go to nikkibhannas.com and there's links everywhere to it. Although I'm not sure if there's a Substack link there yet. I don't know. I got to work on that. I got to sync it all up together. This is Brand Building 101. You're watching it in live time, dude. And in my highest self, I've always wanted to be a musician. I like to be a speaker, you know, performer, entertainer, if you will. I don't got a problem being on the stage. I like to think I got something to say. I like to think I got something to offer. And if I can do that via speaking and writing, slowly but surely, those things will turn into something else. So that's all creative. In any event, between music, talking shit, and writing stuff, that's all creative output to me. So I like it. That's what I'm trying to do. But in that, I get angry at work as I work a job, and you know, just like anything, you know, this is fucking basic. I don't want to say it's stoicism necessarily, but it's basic philosophy. If you're going to do something, do it well. If you're going to spend your time at a place doing a thing, do that thing well, to the best of your abilities. You know, you should be good at what you do, especially if your livelihood and finances depend on it. Be good at it. Now, in that, I just get frustrated as shit, which is why I study leadership and management, etc. You know, I find that stuff very important, and it's endlessly applicable because the world is where it is. The world is as it is. It is not how you would like it to be. The highest version of making your life what you want it to be is there's a weird fucking interaction and interfacing between the world as it is and the world as you want it to be. But that's like the metaphysical angle to it all. which is fascinating because that becomes philosophical. That becomes almost spiritual in many ways. And it's all just so captivating to me, being aware of it through those moments that create the day. Moments create hours, hours create days, so on and so forth. But I've been fucking on one. I've been on one because wherever I'm meeting the world as it is, insofar as my work experience goes, it's been every day. I'm just fucking just fed up with it. Not even because I'm like miserable or being a bitch, in my view. I'm sure there's elements of I'm sure there's elements of inner miseries and projections and discontentment that's projecting itself and looking for something to latch onto. But at the same time, when I got one of my college kids who just straight up give the wrong order to a DoorDash driver and then try and offload the responsibility of us doing our fucking job to that person, it's like, dude, I am fucking out of patience for this shit, and you're gonna get it right now. So it is. It's been a week of wrath. Unless I guess I could always lower my standards. I could treat them like children instead of treating them like adults. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe I'm framing it differently, but it depends how you want to look at it. But in any event, that's what's been going on. And in all of that, yeah, I was just writing a little bit about anger. So that's on the Substack. We'll see. I'm going to listen back to this and find something that I think is worth writing about for a little bit. Not a whole novel, but 10 paragraphs, 12 paragraphs, whatever the riffing feels like, whatever feels righteous. And if I can do that with the same uh, consistency, most general consistency as I do this soon enough, after a few weeks, after a few months, give me 5, 6 months, I'll have a little portfolio. And as somebody who went to school for English and education and likes to think himself a talented, potent, capable writer, selling myself short by not doing any type of writing. So it goes. Anyway, that's what I'm fucking thinking about on this ferocious Friday. My man EMP hitting me up with the alliterations for every day of the week. Hit you with a wicked Wednesday the other day. It was, in fact, wicked. Today, I have a feeling, will be furious and ferocious. A fucking furious Friday. I like it. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Going to my readings today. As I'm thinking about all this stuff, I open up the Daily Stoic today, and the page that today is August 8th. August 8th, which actually, in terms of goofy, kind of magical, metaphysical things, they say that August 8th, 8-8, is what they call in astrology the Lion's Gate portal. Where I think Sirius and a couple other things, the sun, Sirius, lined up. Energetic shifts, manifestations, and things like that. So that's kind of fascinating. It's also a full moon today. So if you're into that type of thing, maybe the downloads are pertinent today. Maybe the antenna signals are going to be strong. I don't know. Any event, they're kind of strong right now because I open up to the Daily Stoic today on 8-8. And Ryan Holiday's caption to start his page says, "Start with where the world is," which is all we can do in that lens. Start with where the world is. It's not an ideal place. He opens up with a quote from the great Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius says, "Do now what nature demands of you. Get right to it if that's in your power. Don't await the perfection of Plato's Republic, but be satisfied with even the smallest step forward and regard the outcome as a small thing." Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Begin with the world. He said, I like that. Marcus Aurelius says, "Don't await for the perfection of Plato's Republic," which is to say, don't wait for the world to get right. Don't keep looking externally and, well, when the day happens that we have the right president in office, and when my boss stops beating down on me, when my wife starts acting correctly, nah, motherfucker, do it now. That's what this shit is. Do it now. Seize the day. Get after it. Don't be waiting on external things to line up. And I think we're all guilty of this. I know I'm guilty of this. For me, a lot of it was, yeah, when the day comes that when I'm done drinking, when I'm done partying, when I'm done fucking around, I'll get right to it. Well, that day don't come until you make it come. That shit don't happen until you make it happen. Insofar as you can, you got to meet the world where it's at. They talk about this in the fucking AA rooms too, in that context of drinking and drugging and whatever else. Life on life's terms. It's arrogant. We can do what we can. I'm working through this idea at least because, the masters of manifestation They're all about being able to completely control your destiny and control, create your own world with just what's inside of you. And there's a lot of credence to it, but it's an art form and it's a learned skill, and it's a hard skill to learn until you get to that point of mastery. You have to meet the world where it is, dude. You have to. Are you gonna just not? Are you gonna not use dollars? Good luck. good good luck to you. Don't wait for the Plato's Republic utopian ideal society to happen before you do something. Which is, that's what it is, man. I guess we just do things in small things and hope. Every time I rage upon these kids at work, man, I feel bad about it. But like, it just is what it is. It fucking just is what it is. I was listening to Andy Frisella yesterday, and he was talking to the guy who's, they were doing their call-in show, and Andy's big point was like, listen, like if you have that fucking fire in you, it's gonna come with anger. Like you can't just not have angry. Go talk to the people who are not angry, who are not hungry, who are not driven, who don't have that, like, he calls it like dark side, the dark side psychology or something. Go ask the people that don't have that how successful they are, how profitable they are, how thick their lives are, And I don't know. So that kind of, I don't know. The thick fucking tricky part about that is justifying it. Because what I had said on Wednesday was like, we all know that guy who's just fucking pissed off all the time, who's just tense, who's just irritated, who's just fucking bent up. And that's what I was writing about, just contemplating anger and how anger intensifies into wrath. Wrath is a higher form of anger because there's a spectrum of being angry, in my view. And like, I guess it's a good thing if we can use it as a good thing. And that's the hard part, though. That's the hard part because it's not always fun, even if it feels good. It's just like drugs, dude. My man EMP hit me up after Wednesday on my Wicked Wednesday episode and said that, I never known EMP to really get angry, but I don't see EMP 24/7. I don't live in my man's head. I don't know what those things are in there that builds and builds and builds. And sometimes it has to find an outlet. It has to find an outlet. These things are in us. They have to latch themselves onto something out there. Hopefully it's productive. Hopefully it's constructive. Otherwise, it's destructive and bad. I don't know how else to reduce that philosophically into something. Or I guess we run into the trap of intellectualizing everything and rationalizing everything and justifying everything. And it could just be as simple as, I'm angry. Angry man mad. Mad man gets stick. Mad man kill man. But that doesn't seem like the fucking pro-social way to interact in society. So I don't know, like, what happens if you're fucking angry and pissed off and you just don't even engage with it? Like, you stuff it down, you stuff it down, you stuff it down. That's like a trope in and of itself. The fucking going postal, like this shit don't come from nowhere. So I don't know. It's interesting as I interface with these parts of myself because I don't want to be that dude who's just always tripping. Too much of my life, I've been that man who's always tripping. And it's funny. That's the problem with it, is it's funny. And when you can make something humorous, when you can make something funny, when you can make it a joke or a character, the world as it is will kind of encourage it. They don't want to see the resolved, calm leader unless they need that. But we don't need that except for some moments. The rest of the moments, it's like funny. It's like, yeah, look at Benny. He's all fucking mad. Get him. Come on, let's troll him. Get him. They encourage the fucking shitty behavior because it's funny. And it's like a pressure release valve a little bit, but it doesn't change the symptom. Because then that same dude is still just pissed off all the time. And it's like, bro, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong with you if you're always fucking just agitated? Chill. But some motherfuckers can't just chill. And I guess that's where it needs to be pivoted into a productive thing. So that's what I think about it, at least, which ties in very well to another reading I had today. My man in Positive Thinking Every Day, Norman Vincent Peale, the great Norman Peale. He says, there is a reason why you do what you do, and it is an important day in your life when at last you discover the reason. Self-knowledge is the beginning of self-correction. Awareness. There's a power in awareness. The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. That's real, and that applies to all things. If you're not aware of something, you're fucking, speaking of Plato, it's like being a fool in the bottom of Plato's cave, looking at the reflections of the shadows of the flame on the wall, thinking that's real life. till you go see real life and you're blinded. You got to wear sunglasses online like my stupid ass. That's what happens. That also ties in. I was listening to Elliot Hulse on my walk this morning. So shout out Elliot Hulse. Yo, Elliot. That's a cool dude. Been on YouTube a long time. He's been through a whole personal development journey in and of himself. And he was an early adopter of YouTube and vlogging and talking head type things. So he's been through it all. It's really cool to look at his whole history and watch all his old videos. He started as like just a classic standard bodybuilder. I think he was one of the people who made the 5x5 strength building program like a big thing 15 years ago, early YouTube, early internet days. And now he's very religious and spiritual and holistic in that regard. I really like listening to Elliot Hulse. I don't listen to him all the time, but every now and then, yo, Elliot, his fucking voice hits the spot, bro. So shout out to Elliot. He says in what I was listening to this morning, one of the things he said, just like what Norman Peale just said, awareness is transformative in and of itself. So here we are. I guess being, insofar as it relates to what I'm talking about, being angry and aware of that anger, being present with it, that's better than having your anger be present with you. Who's leading what in that context? Are you being led by your own fucking agitation, or are you coaching it and guiding it and dealing with it what it is? If we have to meet the world where it is outside, then we got to meet where we are the same way inside. And I feel like a lot of psychologists and therapists, they'll say the same thing, but they do it in a very soft way, so it's not useful. Because that's the problem with fucking wrath and anger. It's forceful. It fucking forces you to pay attention to it. If you're being screamed at, it's really hard to ignore that. It's really, really hard to fucking ignore that sensation of being hearkened upon by this fucking force, which is what anger is. That's what wrath is. That's what all those things are. So I don't know. I guess it's better to be aware of it than not. But what do I know, dude? I'm just trying to be honest. I'm trying to do each small thing, like Marcus Aurelius said. One small thing begets another. Inches turn into miles, which turn into fucking treks and journeys and destinations and wiser men than me. The one thing I've always heard that I like, this is a Wes Watson thing. Wes Watson says that the path illuminates as you walk it. So keep doing each small thing and let it fucking go. Yeah, it's all very interesting to me on this ferocious Friday. I got one more quote that I thought was cool from my John Maxwell reader this morning. John Maxwell says that image is what people think we are. Integrity is what we really are. So even if I get angry sometimes, I try not to just be an angry person living in the spirit of anger, or let the spirits of anger fucking take me over. Yeah, I don't know. So it's interesting, especially as someone who likes aggressive fucking heavy music, being real into metal and rap. When those things hit, when it's like fucking, when I'm in that, to me, it's like power. That's what I like about it. Anger is, if I'm listening to blues, I don't always feel powerful, but I don't seek powerful things when I'm listening to the blues. I'm seeking something else in what I'm consuming at that point. When I'm fucking working out, dude, I want some death metal. I want some fucking thrash metal. Give me some Dark Angel. Give me some Sadist, some Morbid Saint. You know what I mean? Some fucking old school Amon Amarth. Give me some Vader. Give me some of that shit. Give me some fucking grindcore. That's what I want in the gym. When I'm like focused and on a mission, yeah, I'll put on some fucking Tupac Shakur, dude. Give me some Under Pressure, some angry fucking just mad, pissed off rap. Give me some Eminem Show. Soldier by Eminem is like one of the fucking most mad, just as a vibe there. And it's honest. So it lends itself to truth. But people always said, it's like, well, this is what terrorists and this is what people who they lash out against society. This is what they listen to. I don't know. There's something bigger than music doing that. So these are fucking things that I just think about. But, maybe I'm thinking too much. But it's all good. What is it, 9:30? Ah, shit, it's 9:30 on a Friday. And I'm hitting the 20-minute mark. It's been a fucking ferocious Friday out here. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this fine Friday morning. Been a great episode of BS with Hannas. That's me. Good morning, Hannas. You can find this on YouTube, BS with Hannas, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth. You can find me on Substack. I got to find the exact address so I can plug that correctly. I'm going to keep writing on Substack. You can find my music, heavy blues metal, NikkiBHannas.com, NikkiBHannas.bandcamp.com, NikkiBHannas on all streaming services. This is Crawling Out of Hell. I'm going to wrap it up with this. Keep it real. One love. Peace.